Do you want to be a legend in your own kitchen? How about doing it with this, making hamburgers in your kitchen? Sure, it's great fun to do it outside in the grill, but the season, the weather, or the timing might not make that the easiest way to go. Here's what you want to do to make this your legend maker in the kitchen. First of all, you want to start out with a hot skillet. In this case, I'm using a cast iron skillet. If you don't have one, any heavy duty skillet will do it. See, it's getting a little bit smoky here. Now, you want it on a high heat. Now, you don't put any oil in, actually not using any oil at all. So how can you tell if it's hot enough? Two things. First of all, just take a little bit of water. When getting good, really hot, quick sizzle on it, this is ready to go. It's preheated. The second thing is, I just said I'm not putting any oil in. So how am I going to keep this from sticking to the pan? Here's what I'd like to do. Just put a little salt in the pan. That's all it is, just a nice layer of salt on there. How do I know this works? I learned this technique from my 10th grade science teacher, Mrs. Schultz. They called her Methyl Ethel. She was the best science teacher in the world. And she told us about this. And that's how I first learned about it. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got my burgers here, my patties. I'm going to put them in. It's a hot skillet. And that salt is going to keep them from sticking. Can you hear that nice sizzle going? So the salt is the first takeaway. Next one is just put a little thumbprint in each one. That's going to keep them from bubbling up so you still have a nice flat burger without that little bubble top on it. Now here's that great sizzle going. How can you tell how it's doing? How do you know when to flip it over? A couple of things. You only need to flip it over once. You don't have to keep flipping it over and over. So how do you know when to flip it the first time? You can see this is really starting to cook nicely. See what's happening. It's turning a little bit cooked, that grayish, brownish color underneath. You got bright red from the uncooked burger. You want to have that start to really come up the sides. It is working its way up. Now, it's been a moment. Let's see what's going on. Does it have a nice sear underneath it? Look at that. That looks like a burger. Flip that over. Let's just give those another minute or so. See, that's still quite rare in there. See where I pointed where they broke off a little bit there? So it's just barely cooked through. That's not even at rare yet. How do you like your burgers cooked? I like mine medium rare. How can you tell? Well, you can cut it in half and see how the pink is inside, or you can take its temperature. About 120 degrees is rare. About 126 to 130 is medium rare. About 135 is you're getting into the medium range. And beyond that is you're going to chip a tooth because it's well done. So I like to take its temperature. I don't like to go in straight to the top because it's kind of narrow there, so I'm kind of guessing. Here's what I'd like to do. Take that and just stick the thermometer on the side there. I'll bet this is still in the rare world. Yep, this is at a balmy, see that, 95 degrees. I've still got probably another minute or two to go. Even though it's at 95, you think, well, I still have a few more minutes. No, it goes quickly. So just let that sit there and continue its cooking. Just another minute or so. Time to take its temperature. And let's see what I've got. Oh, look at that. 125. Nice and medium rare. There you have it, the classic American burger on a lovely soft roll. Homemade pickles left over from the summer. Ketchup and mustard. This is what it's all about. Oh yeah, one more thing. If you like the video, please hit like, and even more, we'd love it if you were to hit subscribe. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.